Hello and welcome to the Symbio video channel. In this video, you're going to see how to subscribe for certain data in order to be informed by the system whenever there's a new release. So in order to subscribe for data, a viewer, as you see here, is logged on at the moment to the system. A viewer can simply subscribe for a process, for instance, by clicking here on this eye on the functional bar. A summary of all your subscribed data you see here on the top right of your browser in the subscription tab, and you see here the process vendor invoice is now subscribed. So that means when there's a new version of the process, this viewer will be informed by the system. Now let's simulate a new release of this particular process. That means we just here log off as this person, logging on as somebody else who can do the release. So this person has the rights to edit data and to release data. When I switch to the editor modus, I can then navigate to the process here, process vendor invoice, for example. And you see at the moment here, we have also a working version of the process. So I dive into the 2.1, which is in process. Here you could do the amendments, and let's just assume the description was revised, for example. So let's release this process by going to the functional bar to change state. Now in this case, both the author and the responsible is the same person. That means I don't need to go to the workflow. I can immediately update the status to released. I do that in a second. I just here write down, for example, revise description. And then I update the status to released. I confirm by clicking on OK. And now in this very moment, the viewer gets an email by the system and also information in the system. So let's log back as the viewer. And then we navigate here to the info board. You see on the top right, there's a light flashing up. So that means here, at this very second, we have an information by the system that there's a new version of the process vendor invoice. Now we could navigate into this process now, seeing that here we have a new version, namely the 3.0. And now if you would like to get informed also whenever there's a new repository object released or versioned, you could do the following. So let's, for example, go into the detailed view of the process. Let's just assume you would like to get informed by the system whenever there's a new version of this role, which is linked to many of the tasks in the process. That means you could also subscribe for this particular role. So let's just navigate here via the Nav Deeper button to the particular role. So we end up in the list of the roles. And here the role accounts payroll manager is already selected. And if we would like to get informed by the system whenever this role is versioned, we simply also subscribe for this role. And the end product would be now for the viewer here on the top right, going to the summary. Both the role and the process is subscribed. So that means the viewer will be noticed by the system whenever there are new versions. Thank you for having watched this video.